from the Barbara A. Lehman Stadium at Cooper High School. It's an all-Robbinsdale district matchup in the Section 5 5A football championship. Number 2 seed Armstrong and number 1 seed Cooper for a spot in the state playoffs. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Joe Basil. Allie Mosley will join us tonight too, and this is the rematch here. We saw the game in the regular season where Cooper really pulled away in the second half, put Armstrong away, but you wipe the slate clean now. This one is for a spot in that final 8 in Class 5A.
Welcome to playoff football on a windy evening here at Cooper. Yeah, we did that game. Of course, Jay, and 14-14 at halftime. And then because of some turnovers, the game kind of got away from Armstrong in that second half.
Cooper has been in this spot a lot of times in recent years. We've gone 0-5 in section finals in the last decade. It's something that's gnawed at them. They've heard a lot about it from people inside the community, outside the community. They want to take that next step and get in the playoffs. It's kind of the only thing they haven't done in this program in recent years.
When we talked to Willie Howard pregame, of course, he said, I'm tired of twos, I'm tired of seconds, I'm tired of seconds. He reiterated it a couple times. So, yeah, they're going for the bundle.
On the flip side of that, if you're Armstrong, you're tired of losing to Cooper. They haven't been playing every year, but they also have not been beating the Hawks. They want to get over that hump a little bit too.
Absolutely, and I actually was at the St. Louis Park Armstrong game last week. Early on, they kind of tried to give it away. St. Louis Park only came away with 3 points, but Armstrong has weapons, and I'm sure we're going to see that on display tonight.
Yeah, let's talk about key players in tonight's game. We've picked out a couple of receivers. One of them plays D as well. First of all, for Armstrong, they've really got 3 very good receivers. Eustace McGowan, the smaller of the 3, but he's still very good, very talented.
Yeah, and Malone, their quarterback, just has a real strong arm. I talked to Coach Nagan. He says, yeah, he's got a cannon. And you're right, they spread the ball around. And against St. Louis Park, they were just going downtown. One of the long balls, 9 route, if you will, was to Eustace, and yeah, that's how they busted up St. Louis Park.
And for Cooper, they've really had a couple of guys who have excelled at receiver and DB, and Dante Williams is a guy that you cannot overlook. David Connors has maybe had a strong year too, but Dante's a very excellent receiver also.
Very excellent, very excellent. We've done, a couple other Cooper games this year, and of course Joe Russell has the ability to spread the ball around, and and that Cooper guy is he's going to play a big role in this game tonight.
Well, you touched on it, and obviously viewers can probably hear and see it. Wind is definitely going to be a factor, whether it be the kicking game but also the throwing game. We've got pretty high-powered passing attacks. Remains to be seen, though, how difficult it's going to be. If the game, it stays where it is right now, I think it is definitely going to have an impact.
It will, and I think for the most part, Jay, it'll probably affect the kicking game a little bit more. And if both sides don't have to throw it around maybe as much as they typically do, they probably stick with the ground game. They both have, good running backs, couple of running backs on each side, so they'll probably go with that, maybe not put it up unless they really have to.
Armstrong's a little bit banged up, especially on the offensive line, and that's something that they're a little bit nervous about, but at this time of year, it is what it is. You have to go out there and see what you can do. And Cooper, meanwhile, stayed pretty healthy all season. They've kind of looked at this as their year, and they want to punch their ticket to state here tonight. Armstrong trying to pull off a bit of an upset. It's the Falcons and the Hawks, an all-Robbinsdale rivalry here in the Section 5 5A Championship. Coming up next here on CCX.
CCX Media is the first place you go for local news and sports. But did you know you can sign up for those stories to go straight to your inbox on our website? Simply go to ccxmedia.org. Click on the subscribe button, and from there choose which notifications you want to receive. Then we'll send your favorite CCX Media news, sports, and city events straight to your inbox. Sign up now at ccxmedia.org.
Welcome back here. It's round 2, Armstrong and Cooper here in this 2021 season. Let's go down field level now for Allie Mosley.
Hey guys, you best believe that tonight is a statement game for Cooper. A statement made back this summer before the season even started. Get to state. And here they are in the qualifying game. It's go to state or season's over. Coach Howard says this team has put themselves in position of pillars for success, that being in the offseason, in the weight room, and in every single practice. He said the last 2 weeks, his players have done everything the coaches have asked of them, and they have a fuel and a fire to take this season into the state tourney here tonight. Now for this wind, right now we are sitting at 20-mile-per-hour sustained winds with 35-mile-per-hour gusts. I asked both coaches about it, and while neither of them are fond of it with their pass-heavy teams, Coach Howard said Joe Russell was doing a really good job of passing the ball in pregame warm-ups in this wind, while Coach Negan expressed concern in the kicking game. Good news is, as the night goes on, the wind should decrease, but really not by much, guys.
Thanks, Allie. And that opening kickoff from Leo Garcia, we saw a good example of what the wind will do as he drilled that one into the end zone. So Armstrong will have the football first. Jamin Malone, the junior quarterbacks, had a very good year, although he had a bit of a rough night here the first time around against the Hawks. Ernest Evans in the backfield next to Malone. Fake it to him, Malone rolling right, and he throws on the run, complete to Peyton Newbern. And Newbern will haul it in. It looks like it'll be enough for a first down just beyond the 30 to about the 31. And a good way to get things started there for Armstrong.
Absolutely. A nice little boot action by Malone to Newbern, and safe little throw. It gets Armstrong off on the right foot here.
This time they're going to hand it off to Evans. And he is wrapped up there by Josh Gonley for Cooper. He will pick up a nice gainer, though, of about 6 on the play. Evans and Reggie Carter will each see a fair amount of time in the backfield, it sounds like, according to Jack Negan, the Armstrong head coach.
2 positive plays right off the bat, Jay, for Armstrong.
Back to Evans it goes. Powering forward, he'll be just a little bit short of the first down. Gonley and Carter Zerbe's combining to make that tackle for the Hawks.
He's trying to hammer that left side, right side of Cooper's defense over there. 3rd and short. Oh, they're going to get it the easy way here, Jay.
It's like the first penalty of the game going to go against the Cooper defense. And that will result in Armstrong's second first down.
I remember this from the first game. Armstrong does a nice job of doing what we call the freeze play. And if the D-line isn't really paying attention, not watching the ball, they come across and get Armstrong gets an easy 5.
A little bit of a high snap, but handled. Evans the handoff, and he'll be out to midfield. Another good gainer there for the Falcons in the run game as they pick up about 6. And important, I think, for both to have a little bit of balance tonight. I mean, obviously it's kind of fun to see the aerial show that both of these teams are capable of, but running the football is big. And Cooper, I think, maybe a slight advantage with Camden Royal, but Armstrong's got a couple of backs that they really like too. And so far, so good for this makeshift offensive line.
Right.
Pitch out to Evans. Evans getting around the edge, cutting it back, and he'll be down near the 30-yard line. A pickup of about 19, and another first down for the Falcons.
Yeah, and they get the Armstrong. Of course, you got to get that. You got to get that edge right away, and Evans just takes advantage of it. And wow, big gainer for Armstrong. Got some real nice rhythm going here, Jay. Real good rhythm for Armstrong at this point.
Carter in the backfield now. They are on the 31-yard line of Cooper. Opening possession of the night, Armstrong going into the wind here in this first quarter, and they've mostly gone ground game. Pitch left side, Carter down the sideline, and let's see where they'll mark him out inside the 20. Got a little activity out of bounds there.
Pretty much the same play the other. Yep, pretty much the same play the other side, Jay. And yeah, it does look like there's a flag over there, doesn't it?
What really alerted me to it was the official. I think it was a case of blocking, and they stayed locked up, and then kind of mixed it up a little bit out of bounds, and now there's going to be a big discussion about it.
Right.
I have to admit, I really didn't see what exactly went on here. We got dead ball, personal foul against the defense.
Yep, against Cooper.
Yep, and there'll be a first down for the Falcons.
Yeah, and they'll be tacking that on, I would think. Yeah, they're just doing a real good job of, and the receivers doing a good job of kind of getting the edge too.
I don't.
Oh, now we're going the other way, Jay.
Did he signal wrong, or did we have offsetting? Looks like it's going to be against Armstrong.
And back where we started, huh? Pretty much. Now, that's been the only hiccup so far in the Armstrong offense. They've got some nice flow going, and obviously saw some things on film this past week, and maybe from the first game that, you know, some things run game wise they can do against Cooper.
Well, let's be honest, it can happen, but not a great thing to signal the wrong way and have the entire stadium think the penalty is going the other way. I mean, and again, it was hard to tell. I think it was a situation where he continued blocking out of bounds. It wasn't the hit on the ball carrier that we saw on the replay there.
Right.
Malone thought about it. Now he's going to tuck it and roll. He's got to get rid of it. Here comes Jackson Howard. Drags him down. The pass will fall incomplete. Cooper pleading for an intentional grounding call.
Right.
And the officials are getting together right now.
It was a little late.
Yep, there is a flag down. It's going to be an intentional grounding call against Malone.
I think he was going for just kind of a quick out or whatever against Newbern. It wasn't there. It was well defended, and just throw it up in the stands a little earlier, young man.
Yeah, he really needed to get rid of that ball.
Yeah.
A little bit interesting because it's hard to tell. The fact that Howard was dragging him down might have made that throw look a lot worse than it was. I don't know. That's a tough, that could have went either way, I feel like.
One of the things over the years, I think high school quarterbacks need to, for all purposes, need to get rid of the ball quicker.
That one will go nowhere on 3rd and a mile for Carter. He's back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. So a very promising Armstrong drive. A couple of penalties hurt them in a big way, and they will, I don't know, punting into this wind isn't necessarily. There's Jack Negan, the Falcons head coach. I don't really think they are going to punt here. Cooper's not sure. David Connor's going back as a maybe.
A lot of times they do quick kick out of this, Jay. They did it against St. Louis Park anyway. They'll line up like they're going to go, and then they'll take a couple steps back.
Yeah, it's so far to try and go for it here.
Right.
And Malone indeed is going to kick it out of there, a little spinner. And that's a pretty good idea, as it turns out, as it'll be down at around the 14-yard line. And Cooper will get it for the first time. So Armstrong had a good march going, but penalties hurt them. And I know both coaches talked about it, maybe even more so the first time they met, but this time as well. You got to keep your head out there. There's going to be some talking. There's going to be some hitting. These teams are rivals. Right. But taking penalties, no better example than what we just saw there. You can't afford to do it.
No, you really can't, because they, as you said, what a promising drive they had. And I guess the good news is no turnovers, but penalties just, really killed them.
Joe Russell will turn and give it to Camden Royal, and he's got room to run initially there before it closes down and brought down by Seth Newbern. But Royal will rip off a gain of 8 or 9 there on a good first play for the Hawks.
And it's kind of like the old off-tackle play here, Jay. And, of course, when you do Cooper games, you're going to say Camden Royal quite a bit in that evening.
1,000-yard rusher for the Hawks. It'll be second and a couple here now for Cooper. As you look at Joe Russell's numbers, great year, great career for the Hawks. And this time Royal gets popped. Whew, he was met early on there, and a nice tackle by Henry Smith coming up to meet him, and that will be a no gain, it looks like, for Camden on this one.
Yeah, just almost textbook tackle by Smith. And
oh, wait a minute. I'm calling it a first down. I didn't think he got much of anything there.
Yeah, I didn't either.
But it will be enough for the first down, so give Cooper a fresh set of downs at the 29.
One thing about Royal, like all good running backs, Jay, you know, they always seem to be going
24, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they always seem to be going forward and pick up another yard or two.
This time not much happening for Denari Connors, who's in there in the backfield there for the Hawks. And it'll be about a 1-yard gain this time around as you can look at the starters. Offense on the right for Cooper, defense on the left for Armstrong. A 2nd down and 9 coming up here. First possession of the game for Cooper. Armstrong had 4 first downs, but then ended up having to punt it away after a couple of costly penalties hurt them.
And I think a real key player for Armstrong on D is their nose, number 18, Dayton Frankie.
Frankie, yeah.
Frankie, yeah.
There's a completion out there to Connors, and he is wrapped up by Isaiah Cotton.
You know, and that's about that kind of a quick out or hot screen, if you will. And that's about as good as you can defend number 4, Jay, right there.
Yeah, Connors has really had a good year, and Cotton, the key there is getting to him quick before he has a chance to turn and make a move against you there. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because once he's in space, it's tough.
Be 3rd down and 4 coming up here for Cooper. Empty backfield here as Russell got targets everywhere.
Yeah, they got all 5 out here.
Swings it out for Royal, and it is incomplete. He felt the presence of Seth Newbern coming.
Yes, he did.
And it will be punting situation for the Hawks.
Maybe took his eye off of it for a moment too, Jay. Kind of saw his head turn there a little bit. And, yeah, saw the defender coming, as you said.
Dante Williams is the punter for Cooper, but we've got an injury, and unfortunately that's Camden Royal, who's holding his knee there as Newbern came in and hit him hard around the knees. And you hate to see that.
Yeah, I know. You really do. Yeah.
Yeah, nothing wrong with the tackle or anything like that. He just got to him in a hurry and wrapped up. But I think it was more the knee kind of twisting. His feet were planted as the tackler got to him.
Hey, he grabbed that right knee right away. Hopefully it'll just be kind of a strain or something he can work through.
So pretty good stand by the Armstrong defense there after Cooper had bent a little bit but not broken, given forced the Falcons into a punt. So you get a look at the playoff bracket here in Section 5, and not relating to these two teams, but I got to be honest, Joe, the section playoffs have lost a lot of luster with so many small sections. Everybody has a bye. I mean, you win 2 games, and that's a section champion. That's
okay.
I'm not loving it. You know, there's some sections that just don't have very many teams, and some that don't have very many good teams in them. So I feel like it used to be, maybe there's too many classes, whatever, but there used to be a lot more competition within section tournaments than there are in a lot of them these days. Here's Williams getting set to punt, and again, he's got the wind at his back. Armstrong was playing it conservative. They went back really far, and they're not going to attempt to field it. It'll be down at about the 32-yard line. So
right.
A 40-yard punt.
And really not too bad of an exchange for Armstrong, really, Jay. And as you said, they stopped the Cooper O, got a nice gain on first down with Camden Royal, and then pretty much stuffed them after that. So we'll see if Armstrong can regain that that flow, that rhythm that they had in the first series. Again,
running the ball pretty effectively on that first drive. They've had to really mix and match offensive line-wise. Drew Kemple, one of their best defensive players, playing at a tackle spot now. That seemed to be a broken play. And Tony Colley first to arrive. Malone, I don't think this was really a designed run. He just had nobody there and had to just try to make something out of it, and he ends up being tackled for a loss by Colley.
Yeah, there was nobody in front of Colley. He just ran in, totally unblocked. and tackled the quarterback. Now Armstrong trips to the top side here.
Malone looking to throw, and up and over the outstretched arm of Caden College, who's a good sized receiver, but overshot him there. And again, I think even though obviously you came out and you warm up and everything, but adjusting to the wind, it is, it's not that simple. Different routes are going to require a different kind of throw or a different kind of adjustment.
Right, and with Armstrong going against the wind in this quarter, and plus they had that receiver bracketed pretty good. He almost was able to almost had a connection there.
Malone rolling, fires, complete to Newbern, I believe. Yes, and it looks like it will be enough for the first down as well, as he'll pick up about 14, needed 12, and they ran, that's similar to their other completion that they had. A little bootleg action, roll him right, get good protection, and just Newbern settling in between the defenders there.
Great route by Newbern, looking like he was going to go long, and then hitches up, and did a good job.
Flag down, a false start coming here against the Falcons before that one could get underway. And obviously the deep throws are a lot of fun, and sometimes can be a big weapon for you, but to be a complete team, you got to be able to do what they just did with Newbern there a little bit too. It's not always going to work to just throw long. Right,
and that may not be the play. That was I think the game plan against St. Louis Park, but that may not be the game plan. Against Cooper, you might have to take the short ball, take what they give you, as they say.
1st and 15, little high snap again. Evans taking the handoff, breaks through a tackle. Keeps on going, and then is knocked down hard, and it will get the penalty yardage back plus some, as Colley had a shot at him fairly early there, but Evans ran through it.
Well, first off the bat, it was a great catch by the quarterback, and then Evans, does some things on his own out here on the edge.
Option to the right, Evans stepping forward, and he'll be into Cooper territory, a little shy of the first down by about 3.
I'll tell you what, Jay, Evans is really running hard early part of this game, really running hard.
Evans will pick up the first down as they went left side this time.
Yeah, might have somebody kind of struggling there for Cooper again. And we got number, that might be, is that Connors? No.
Yeah, I think it is.
Is it Connors?
Yeah, and he kind of got leg whipped at the end. He was just sort of in the vicinity on that tackle, but his own teammate, it looked like, ran into him there. So on the 44-yard line now of Cooper, 1st and 10 for Armstrong, as they have continued to run the ball pretty effectively here in the early going here, Evans in particular.
Yeah, they're hammering the ball inside.
Well, not this time, just as I say that, as a big Caden Dorsey wraps him up and spins him down for no gain.
Well, the one thing that Cooper's giving them, Cooper's given him a kind of a six-man box, and if you have a back leading or whatever, even if you can kind of wedge it out a little bit with your O-line, you got 5 blocking 5, so you got to like those odds. Because you really do have to respect those Armstrong wide receivers, as they got a trio or a cadre of them.
Fake the handoff here. Pitch back to Walker, and he's in trouble and blasted down. Dante Williams coming up to rock him.
Yeah, and I think that play was really going to go somewhere, Jay. And then with the bobble, that allowed Cooper D to catch up. This play looked good in the beginning, I thought.
Yeah, not too bad a pitch there, but Walker just wasn't ready to. Tucker, not ready to haul that in. I'm sorry. Tucker had a nice touchdown against St. Louis Park, and Jack Negan said he's come on, done well. Rolling left this time is Malone, throwing on the run, and let's see, did he get this?
Are they going to give him that catch?
Wow. from up here, it looked like it hit the ground, and most of the Cooper folks thought the same. Caden College, though, is going to get the catch.
Yep.
Won't quite be enough for the first down.
Well, we'll see it again here. I thought, same as you, Jay, I thought it kind of hit the turf there early, but maybe he got his arms under it.
No, he definitely didn't catch it. There was a good look at it there, and that one got through his arms. That one was... And Cooper's going to use a timeout. Obviously, we don't have replay, though, that's of use, but there's no doubt this ball was not caught. He did get his hands underneath it initially, but watch, it'll go all the way through his arms into the ground.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, that's when it, and then it kind of bounces there a little bit, doesn't it?
He did not even come close to catching that ball.
Well, and I think the timeout, at minimum, it allows Willie to work the white hat a little bit. So Willie obviously thought it was worth burning a timeout for that.
That's obviously not one, though, that you're going to be able to change at that point. But
no, not at all. And this is 4th and makeable.
Let's go down to Allie now for a quick injury update.
Now I can't hear it.
Well, I guess we don't have her right now. We'll go with 4th down and 5 coming up here for Armstrong. Malone fakes a handoff, rush coming, and he has to throw it away as he was popped, and it will be Cooper taking over on downs.
Yeah, a little bit of a jailbreak rush there, Jay, and led by Tony Colley here, kind of led the charge, and Malone really didn't have any time at all to get that net throw off his back foot.
Going for McGowan, I guess, there, but really no opportunity to get that one in.
Well, we've got Armstrong's second drive in the books, and moving the ball a little bit, but just can't quite finish.
On the 39 here. Handoff to Connors. Oh, and he takes a rip there and brought down by Tariquez. And he'll pick up about a yard.
And I think that was an example of someone going east-west there, and versus the north-south runner that they typically have with Royal, who's out of the game at this point.
2nd down and 8 after a 2-yard gain. Russell handling that low snap. Now throwing for Connors. He's got him down the sideline, stumbles and goes out of bounds, but it'll be a big gainer here for Cooper. And let's go now to Allie for an injury update.
Yeah, guys, Camden Royal receiving word from the trainers that he did not want to hear. They brought out the ice pack. He is out for the rest of the game. This will definitely shift some dynamics with the Cooper offense.
Oh, that's a tough thing to hear. Thanks, Allie, for the update. And unfortunate for Camden and the Cooper offense. They do have some depth, but at the same time, he's a pretty special player. And this one down the sideline looked like it might go for 6. Connors hauled it in, then just trying to make sure he can stay in bounds.
Yeah, just kind of trying to tightrope it there.
Terrence Matthews takes the handoff here, and Matthews down to about the 20. He'll get 2 or 3 on that carry. So Matthews and Denari Connors and then presumably be the primary backs in the backfield now. Under 30 seconds to go here in this first quarter. No score on the board. Cooper now driving it after the 37-yard completion to David Connors.
Yep, going to their home run guy. I like the I like little fake by Russell there, and then come back on the 9 route to Connors.
Throwing for Connors the other direction, a jump ball here. Connors has got it for the touchdown. Out fighting Cotton, the defensive back there, and it'll be a 20-yard strike from Russell to Connors for the touchdown, and Cooper gets on the board just as the first quarter comes to an end. That'll actually end up being the last play of the quarter as Russell throwing it up, and there's a one-on-one matchup, and Connors able to win it. They'll try and tack on the extra point here, and then we'll have our quarter break.
Yeah, he's got that it factor, doesn't he, Jay? I mean, he's the playmaker for them and the go-to guy.
Garcia's extra point attempt is up, and it is good. And so, with no time left on the board in the first quarter, our score, Cooper 7, Armstrong nothing after 1. The second quarter is up next.
CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is now available on Roku and Apple TV. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You'll also have access to a large on-demand library, including daily newscasts and full sporting events. To find the app, go to the store and search CCX and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. Now available on Roku and Apple TV.
So Cooper striking on the last play of the first quarter, a 20-yard touchdown from Joe Russell to David Connors. They lead at 7-0, and Armstrong about to get the ball back as we get a look there at Marquand Tucker, the 2 deep backs here. And again, Cooper now kicking into the wind, and in fact the ball blows off the tee here as Garcia gets set to kick it. So your strategy from one quarter to the next is going to change quite a bit kicking-wise in this game for both these teams.
Now Armstrong will have the wind, and we'll see. That may change their play calling a bit. And going back to that play, Cotton had great position against Connors. Really, really excellent position. But Connors he's just the guy.
And that kick covered, not taking any chances there was Tariquez, and so they squibbed it on the ground, and Armstrong will start with the football at about their 28-yard line here. There's been definitely some good for their offense so far, but no points on the board. They've had drive stall after promising starts here. And in particular, Evans has done a nice job, or they've done a nice job running. And another look at when Garcia drives this kick. Look at that thing. It's like a knuckleball.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just kind of dies there. That was a really smart thing by Tariquez to just get on it.
It was. Yeah.
Evans had a little hole initially and then driven back. He'll pick up about 2, and Cooper trying to up the physicality defensively a little bit, and that time they put a pretty good hit on Evans. He gets a couple.
Well, and as you mentioned too, Jay, now that Armstrong has the wind, we could see a similar, pass pattern maybe with Newbern or some of their other good receivers, Armstrong, and going vertical a little bit more with the wind.
Carter takes the handoff here. Howard and company push him back again. He'll gain about 1 there, and kind of get the feeling maybe the Cooper defensive coaches maybe change it up a little bit. Also, maybe just challenge their guys a little bit, saying they're knocking us off the ball here. Let's get after it. And they seem to be pretty fired up on this drive, and they've had a couple pretty good stops.
Yeah, I think they've added 1 more guy to the box. We talked earlier about 6 in the box. Looks like more like a 7-man box now. A little bit harder to run against that for sure. It's probably when you want to throw the ball.
Malone has time now. Hit as he throws, looking deep for Tucker. Got just a hand on it as the defenders were bracketing him. Connors cut across in front of him there. Malone had pretty good protection, but then it broke down late, and this ball really fluttered coming out. They were probably fortunate this wasn't intercepted.
They really were, I thought, because the ball ended up with the wind at the end here. The ball was just kind of going sideways, almost like a kick.
He had to step up because Howard was coming with pressure on the edge, and actually in stepping up, he kind of stepped up into his own lineman a little bit there, it looked like. So once again, it'll be Malone presumably dropping into punt formation. Ooh. Cooper almost got away with one there a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know that the ball was maybe set for.
Yeah, going to get a punt here from Malone.
Yeah, Malone will drive it with the wind. Drifting back, Connors drops it, scoops it up at the 20. Remember, he returned the opening kick for a touchdown in the regular season meeting between these teams, but this time pretty well defended. Seth Newbern down to make the stop at about the 27. And so Cooper will get the football back. And Willie Howard was telling me before the game, it's kind of all hands on deck tonight. He said, some of our star offensive guys you might see on D, and one of them he mentioned was Royal, which unfortunately, obviously, he's out of the game. But he even said it wouldn't be unheard of to see number 7 on D in a key situation, meaning his quarterback, Joe Russell.
And, of course, we've seen Connors on D already.
Yeah, he's done it all year, and Williams as well.
Well, you just if you're Armstrong, even on that punt with Connors, you just kind of hold your breath when he gets the ball in space.
Here's Denari Connors, nice cut back, makes a little move. Falcons trying to drag him down, and they finally do, but not until he's picked up a first down to the 40, about a 12-yard gainer there for Denari Connors.
Yeah, really nice hole and change of direction by Connors. One of the underrated qualities of running backs is their eyes, and he did a great job with that.
So not as big as Royal, but he's definitely shifty and can move a bit. He's a small back, but got some ability as well. So we're going to see a mix and match a little bit with him and Matthews and a little Colley maybe as well. Back to Connors, and he's dropped in the backfield. Surging through is Devin Jones to make the tackle for loss for the Falcons. It'll be a loss of 5 on that play.
Yeah, from his linebacker position, pretty much, again, almost untouched. He almost got there when the ball got there, Jay.
Yeah, joked about it in past games. That's one of those where the running back's probably thinking, no, Joe, I don't need it. You can keep it there, because I'm sure he could already see the guy in the white jersey right in his face.
Yeah, just bearing down on him. So we got 2nd and long here. We might see Russell on one of his patented rollouts here, possibly. We'll see.
Gonna hand it off to Connors again here. Connors accelerating, now driven back as Jones catches him. He'll be out to, looks like about the 42 or 43 yard line there.
And I think so far I think the wind has definitely changed maybe the play calling a little bit, Jay. Not a lot of balls in the air yet. Both sides wanted to try to establish that run game.
Yeah, 3rd down and 7 now from the 43 here for Joe Russell and the Hawks, leading at 7-0 early in the second quarter here against Armstrong. Russell firing over the middle, complete, has Dante Williams, and he'll be into Armstrong territory at the 42, so first down, gain of 15.
They did a good job with Connors clearing out, and then with Dante Williams kind of finding the soft spot in that zone, Jay, and moving the sticks. That's what you want to do.
Good protection. This whole line for Cooper's had a good year. They got a lot of starters back, and they make it happen for Royal and Russell and all those guys. Here's Colley, and he'll be slammed down hard. Coming up to make the stick for Armstrong was Tariquez.
I thought the timing on that play, Jay, was I don't know if the back was lined up a little too deep or whatever, but the quarterback Russell was waiting for the handoff, and of course that gives the defense time to close down, and that's what they did. Previous play they had one-on-one, they had Connors out there one-on-one. Not this time though.
Gain of 1 on that previous play. Going to go back to Connors on the ground, and that little stutter step, and Franke knocked him down from behind after a pickup of about 3. And so leave them with 3rd down and 7 or so here.
Yep. See what they dial up here. I'm not seeing Connors out there. Maybe I'm missing him, Jay, but I'm not seeing number 4 out there right now.
Russell's going to swing it out to Williams. Williams down the sideline, lowers the shoulder, and he is going to have enough for the first down. By powering through that tackle instead of running out of bounds, that got him that first down.
We talked about him pregame, and this is just a football player right here, Jay, and not a bad ball, but that's somebody that just wants to make that first down, just wants to get the sticks.
And it didn't hurt that that the stick was right there too, so he could see exactly where he needed to get to.
Absolutely.
On the 31 of Armstrong now, Cooper trying to keep this march going. Back they go to Denari Connors. Shook off the first tackle attempt, and then wrapped up, pulled down there by euphoria for Armstrong.
It was a really nice job of Connors by kind of shirking that first tackle, Jay, and anyway, they ended up with 4 yards. I mean, most offenses will take 4 yards any day of the week.
Yeah, there was really Henry Smith had a pretty good shot at him, and Connors, we got a good look at it there from the end zone, exactly what he was able to do I mean, he kind of made it look easy, but that was a great move. He was basically one-on-one in the hole, and he won.
Yeah, he did. Yes, he did. He's a slippery back.
Go with the heavy set here now. Colley coming in motion. Jackson Howard in to lead Denari Connors. There's a flag down on the play, though.
And usually we know what that means when it comes in from that angle or that direction.
I wonder if we could be looking at, did Colley turn up field a little early on his motion here? That I don't know.
We'll see. Yeah.
Nope, going to be a holding actually against the Hawks, which I think you were alluding to there where that flag fell. But
yeah, I don't know. I just probably seen too many football games, Jay. When the flag comes from there, it's usually holding. Well, we'll see how Cooper responds to this. Still second down.
If we can pick it up at all in the middle of the pack here.
I'm not sure.
Kind of a little scrum there.
Yeah.
Now a throw out in the flat, complete to Cager, but Armstrong defends it well. That's going to actually be a short loss.
Yeah. Yeah, a little bit of a slow developing play, but Armstrong, Armstrong right there, man. The cavalry just came on.
Yeah, that's one of those where, you're counting on fooling the defense a little bit there, and it didn't really happen. So then all of a sudden you're outnumbered. No chance for Cager really to break free of that many guys.
A little bit surprised, Jay, that we haven't seen Russell on the edge tonight. He's in other games we've done, he's so effective when he gets out on the edge, run or pass.
Straight drop again. Russell knocked down from behind. He's able to cover the ball up, but Foria coming in with the sack as he popped him in the back just as Russell was thinking about maybe trying to throw that ball.
That was a nice play, just kind of one-handed by Fourier, and Russell kind of dribbled it, but then came back up to him.
Yeah, he was going for the strip there, and he did knock it out, but obviously Joe was able to get right back on it. So Williams will punt. Jordan McClomb, number 4, back there along with Cotton.
Both pretty dangerous punt returners. We'll see what the wind does with this one, Jay.
Yeah, he's punting into the wind, of course. High snap. Williams will keep it low and not allow any return. Boy, that's exactly what you want on your punt into the wind there.
That is exact. That's textbook going against the wind, low, roll, and directional, away from the returners.
31-yard punt, but no chance for a return. So Armstrong will get the ball back. However, it's at their own 10-yard line. 4:03 to go. A pretty rapidly moving first half. As Joe said, teams keeping it on the ground quite a bit on this windy night as well here. So Cooper leading at 7-0. Armstrong again has certainly had some good moments offensively, but not quite able to string anything in. And they've had, in some of the cases, quite a long field to go. Obviously this being one with 90 yards in front of them. Hand off to Evans. He's trying to bounce it to the outside, and he gets to the edge and will be shoved out right around the 15.
Okay, not a bad gain for Evans. I was kind of watching the coverage by Cooper on that play, Jay, and they're playing pretty soft on the Robbinsdale, on the Armstrong receivers. So we'll see if now they're coming up a little tighter on this play.
Gain of 4 on that first down play here for Malone and the Falcons. Malone looking to throw. Ooh, the rush just about got there. He completes it to Peyton Newbern. He breaks the tackle. Newbern taking on Connors and plows into him there as they battle along the sideline.
Yeah, that was...
Oh, there's going to be a flag at the end of this, and we talked about you got to stay disciplined.
Oh, you do? Yeah. I wonder if this is going to negate another Armstrong gain. I like, though, the the two really good players going at it here at the end. You got to kind of like that. Newbern says, you know, I can catch the ball and run with it too.
It's going to be an interesting call there.
Okay. Is that? Oh.
It's going to go against Cooper this time, so a 15-yarder. Again, it wasn't on the initial tackle, I don't think. Although Ponder did come in borderline late.
Okay.
I think it was after that, though, to be honest.
All right. And sometimes it is, you know, you get that little scrum as they're getting up or off the pile or whatever. Well, we got Armstrong doing trips to our side here, Jay, and the near side here, Cooper side. And you got Newbern. Yeah, Newbern's one-on-one out to the right.
Armstrong wanted to go quick, but they didn't have the chain set yet, so they'll start it here on the 47.
Yeah, they try to freeze him again. This time, Cooper a little more disciplined, watching the football.
Malone wants to throw. Howard in his face, and it's intercepted. Down the sideline, Dante Williams chased down by College, but there's the turnover that Cooper was hoping for and Armstrong was hoping they wouldn't see. Right. Dante Williams jumping in front for the pick.
Yeah, Malone totally flat-footed here, Jay. I think you're going to see it and really almost kind of forced this. And
Williams
Dante
with the
Williams.
pick.
Yeah. Coach Nagin's probably thinking a little deja vu here, but hopefully hopefully that's the only turnover this evening. But boy, that's costly.
And I think we're going to have a timeout taken here by Armstrong. Cooper will have it on the 12-yard line. Big turn of events there. Good for College to be able to run him down, so they at least have to work for this touchdown. It wasn't a pick six, but obviously they're in a great position as you get another look at it here. And boy, Jackson Howard has gotten steady pressure off that edge tonight too, and that one definitely helped force that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, and he really didn't have much on it, as it turns out. You know, he couldn't really step through it, and as I said, looked kind of flat-footed when he threw it.
Fifth interception this year for
Dante Williams.
I believe.
Yeah, he's quite the football player, isn't he? I mean, he was just right there, stepped in front of it. Boy, you're right, Jay. This quarter is moving right along too, isn't it? We got 3 minutes, 3 and change here.
Denari Connors in the backfield with Russell. They're going to hand off to Connors. Slips a tackle. Nice little move, and then lowers the shoulder, and he'll be inside the 5. As small as he is, he finished that run pretty nicely there. Once he realized that there wasn't any more room to make any more cuts, he just lowered the shoulder and got what he could.
Yeah, and I really like the way he picks his way, Jay. And as I said, I think, you know, good change of direction, but he's got the great eyesight too. And what a plus for Cooper to be able to hand the ball to the 21, and then Matthews as well. They're doing a good job of keeping the running game going.
2nd and 2 here now for Cooper. They can get a first down without getting the touchdown, but they're going to get the touchdown instead. Denari Connors walks in from 4 yards out as he cuts it to the edge and gets inside the pylon, and the Hawks will extend their lead now with a touchdown after the turnover.
They kind of caved everything down to the left there, and he gave it a look. Connors gave it a look, Jay, and then lo and behold, nothing really out to the right. Everything was handled and blocked down.
Extra point try coming here for Garcia. And his boot is up and through, and so with 2:45 to go here in the second quarter, now 14-0 in favor of Cooper.
They just had that side completely kind of walled off. And Denari Connor's 11th grader too, Jay. He's a junior, only a junior.
So the turnover leads to points here as Dante Williams with the interception, and then now Denari Connors finishing it off. 14-0 lead here for Cooper. Armstrong still has time with 2:45 to go. A couple timeouts remaining.
Plenty of time. Plenty of time. Yeah.
Not a flag on the field. Instead, a little yellow plastic bag making its way all the way from the end zone now past the Cooper group.
I keep looking at the flag, Jay, thinking, well, maybe this thing's going to die down a little bit, but I don't think it has.
No, not so far anyway. A lot of times after dark, you'll see that around this time of year, but not so far.
Well, we'll see. Oh, he's going to have Andre Reese hold it, I believe, for him. No, now he's not.
Yeah, it looks like Garcia is saying, I need somebody to hold this.
Yeah.
So Princeton Wallace will get the duties perhaps here.
We'll see if we see another ground ball here, Jay. Going against the wind.
Yep, that's what we're going to get. This time takes a little bit of a nice bounce up to Tariquez. Ooh, he got spun around and brought down. Physical hit there by Chris Blabu for Cooper.
That was quite a stick by special teamer Blabu. That was, as it looked, yeah.
So they'll have it at the 32, first down for the Falcons. Interesting. It kind of has a feel of a key drive for them. I mean, if they go 3 and out or something here, I don't think it'll help their morale going into halftime, but trying to get something going. Pitch goes back to Evans. Evans stood up and then brought down around the 38 or so. Yeah,
and Evans having a nice half running the football. He'll get you hard runner, get you 4, 5, 6 yards.
Yeah, he's actually racked up some pretty decent yardage. They just have had too far to go, and things have gone south on penalty-wise, of course, on that one drive especially, where they had the 15-yarder and then an intentional grounding. Option to the right, pitch out to Evans.
Same play.
And down the sideline, he stayed in bounds there into Cooper territory.
And they went back to
the first down.
Pretty much the same play again. Noticing the Cooper secondary, at least on that play, they're in what's called quarters coverage, so 4 across, playing relatively soft. So we'll see what Armstrong's play call against that is. Now Connors comes up, kind of plays a little bit more man against Armstrong slot receiver.
From the 48 of Cooper now, Malone. Again, rush coming, he steps up, and he's going to be brought down. Cordarius Bracey. Again, it was Howard coming from the outside that forced him to step up, and that allowed Bracey to clean it up. It'll be no gain on the play, so I guess not officially going to be a sack, because he got back to the line of scrimmage, or maybe it's just a touch beyond it, but it'll be 2nd and 10. Time is a little bit of an issue now, though. We're going to be under a minute by the time they snap this. They do still have 2 timeouts, so not panic time, but some time has run off. Going to hand it off to Evans here. Evans breaking a tackle, and then Howard catches up to him and brings him down, but he will have a first down, so they'll move the chains and stop the clock here briefly for that reset of the chains.
Yeah, they got those 2 timeouts, and you can't really take them with you. So, but at this point, I think you run the play. If you're going to call timeout, you would have done it right at the end of Evans' run.
Malone looking to throw, had time initially, now rolling out right and throws, and incomplete. Newbern defended by Blabu there.
He was covered really well by Blabu in the first part of that route. He wanted to go to him early, and then Newbern kind of came back to the quarterback, but it still wasn't there. He's looking at him all the way, which typically helps the defense.
Only 32 seconds to go now, so Armstrong might be down to just having 2 or 3 more snaps here in this half. I don't think they've managed the time all that well on this drive.
No, I actually thought that even the play before the Evans run that they might call timeout, but for sure after the Evans run.
I think they're asking him to put time back on the clock here. It was an incomplete pass, and so it should have stopped immediately. And yeah, not 340, but 34 seconds I think they want on the clock. They're trying to get that situated. Looks like it is good to go now. So 2nd and 10, it allows Armstrong to take a little breather. Obviously, you would have rather completed it, but the incompletion, not such a bad thing there either.
Cooper playing very soft over here. Oh, they're going to run the ball again.
Evans taking it on the option pitch, and he'll truck out of bounds there at about the 30.
That's smart of Evans. Get out of bounds. Stop that clock. And again, if you're Armstrong, you really, really want to come away with some points here. As you said, give you some kind of momentum at least going into halftime.
3rd and 3 here for the Falcons. 27 seconds, still a couple timeouts to go, and this one, timeout Cooper before the snap.
Still really plenty of time, Jay. I mean, especially with those. Again, if you start using those timeouts in a prudent fashion, you can get maybe 3 or 4 plays off here.
And keeping in mind, you've got Malone with the wind at his back, and you've got a couple of really tall and talented receivers. I would not be surprised to see a shot to the end zone, even on this coming play here.
Right. And I think Cooper is kind of anticipating that a little bit with that 4 across and deep. Again, I think there'd still be time to, we saw Newbern run that hitch route earlier in the half. That picked up maybe 10, 11, 12 yards. They could run that. Now they're in a little bit more of a traditional cover 2. Connors is one of the deep guys.
Handed off to Evans. He bobbled it briefly, and he's dragged down out of bounds, and should be enough for a first down here. And it will be.
It almost feels like, I almost want to say, Jay, they're playing for a field goal here, but I'm not sure why, because they've got the timeouts for that, and they've got the wind. That's going to help their kicker.
20 seconds left, and they're at the 25. Fake it to Evans. Malone looking. Now he's in trouble. Rolling back to his left, though. Malone gets rid of it, and it'll be out of bounds.
Yeah, that would have been really, really, really bad if he would have gotten sacked back there. But he was able to, kind of turn and get away.
Malone paid the price, though. He's limping a little bit as he hobbles back.
Yeah, maybe time for one more play and then a field goal attempt, I think, Jay. Well, there was your shot in the end zone that you kind of alluded to a little bit.
We got a penalty on the play here, a hold against Cooper defensively.
Oh, okay. Well. Now I think you'd probably see maybe a fade ball.
At the 15, but only 10 seconds to go. They still haven't used either of those timeouts. Now, I said they were going too slow earlier, and if they get a TD here, I'll say, oh, that was perfect timing. Malone is going to throw it up for the fade, and that time too deep, looking for Peyton Newbern. And 5 seconds remaining now, and Newbern. So that's the one thing you kind of fear if you're Cooper. They have good D-backs, and they can be in great position, but such a height advantage for both College and Newbern that sometimes those jump balls can be hard to handle. Like, that was exactly what we saw for Cooper the other way with David Connors in that same kind of scenario.
Right. Well, let's see. Well, with 5 seconds, they're still look like they're going to run a play here.
Should be the last play of the half, presumably. Now they're going to use a timeout and just make sure they've got everything under control. Obviously, the clock was stopped there, but chances are we're only going to have time for one more play here anyway. So, and they've still got an additional one. If somehow they got tackled at the 1 or something, they Well, it's unlikely, though, to have enough time to
Right.
get a quick timeout. I think this throw's got to be into the end zone.
Yeah. You know, and on that last throw that was into the end zone, the fade ball, if you will, the difference between those two plays on the Cooper side was that Armstrong's quarterback, the ball, and possibly the wind, you know, could have been a factor, but the ball kind of faded more towards the middle of the field as opposed to when Russell and Connors hooked up for that back shoulder, Jay. And that's where you want it to be. Either your guy gets it or nobody gets it.
Yeah, and the other difference, I think, too, was Cooper had two guys in position to, you know, potentially defend that pass, whereas the other way, it was kind of out on an island. It was
just Cotton
was
and
one-on-one,
yeah.
So, again, probably the last play of the half here, you would think.
Yeah.
Armstrong down 14-0, but trying to get one late. Here's Malone.
Yeah.
Firing over the middle, and it is incomplete. Looking for Evans, and there's 0.9 left, though. They did not end up using up quite all of the clock there.
Yeah, Evans almost dug that low throw out, Jay. That was they must have ran Evans. I'd have to see it on replay, but they must have ran Evans up the seam, and that almost clicked for them. That almost worked for them. You know, with all the good receivers on the outside, sometimes that seam route will work.
Another timeout taken here. You almost think a little, are they possibly thinking field goal, but it doesn't really look like it. And I kind of have the feeling that, especially since Cooper scored that second touchdown, that Armstrong doesn't really think 3 is enough.
Right.
They need to go for 7.
Right, exactly. I think that must be with Coach Nagin's thinking.
There's a look.
It was close.
Yeah, he almost had that one.
He really did. Kind of did the basket catch there a little bit.
You could say it was a low throw, but I think it was kind of where it needed to be in relation to the defender there.
I agree. It was in a really good. It was in a really good spot, and real close to being a touchdown.
Keep in mind, a running back probably not quite as used to, you know, taking those kind of routes downfield as your wideouts would be.
Yeah, particularly up the seam like that, right?
So here we go again. This should be the now Cooper's going to use a timeout.
And I would think that Willie Howard is probably telling his defensive coordinator, let's make sure that we defend Evans on this play as well. It looked like Evans was going to line up in the backfield, and I'd almost go empty and let Evans kind of work his way, you know, across the field a little bit. But I think you're right. I think Coach Nagin thinks that 3's just not going to do it. They need 7, and they need 6 first, and then of course the extra point.
Pretty key snap here for both these teams. Obviously, we still got a whole nother half to go, but 14-0 would feel a lot different than 14-6 or 7 or 8, whatever it might wind up.
Right. Cooper will get the ball to start the second half. That may be his thing. You know, that kind of cranks into his thinking there a little bit too. Well, you got Newbern out here. Yeah, now Cooper's sliding over a little bit, but Newbern's probably he's kind of on an island over there, Jay. I'm not sure. I can't get a number on the defender, but Newbern's out there by himself.
Malone looking to the bench here as Evans shifts. He is going to throw it that way for Newbern. Connors is out there with him. Connors a bit of a grab, but no, not going to be a penalty. Instead, it'll fall incomplete as the first half does come to an end here, and Cooper maintaining a 14-0 lead as they scored on the final play of the first quarter, and then they score late in the second after the turnover. And the Hawks will go into halftime with a 14-0 lead. A little bit interesting there. I thought it was a little tug on the arm possibly on that.
Yeah, I'd like to. I wouldn't mind seeing that again at some point. I think there was a little arm bar there, Jay. I agree with you. It was
kind of a double move here by Newbern, and then trying to get out to the corner, and he might have tried to sell it too. It's hard. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say. At the end, I think he reaches out and
I think it's a good no call.
Yeah.
Seeing it on a second look there, so it can look a lot different from different angles. I've really learned to kind of bite my tongue at least somewhat on those. Not just this sport, but other sports too. You see, a basketball player, hockey player, where you think it's a obvious foul or penalty or whatever, and then you see it again. And okay, that one actually was probably the right call or non-call right there. I think.
Right.
As well.
Right.
So an interesting first half here. We've had Cooper does have the lead at 14-zip, but Armstrong right in there with it. Let's go down now to Allie.
Coach, I know that turnover there in the second half wasn't what you were looking for. You weren't able to convert on points here in this last minute. What did you see in that first half out of your team?
We didn't make any plays, right? We got our opportunities are right there and we're not making plays.
So what do you say to the guys in the locker room to address this and completely flip the script in the second?
Make plays, and like we talked about before the game, right? I mean, we're driving right away at the beginning here and we get a 15-yard stupid penalty out of bounds, right? We can't do that. We knew that at the beginning, so we got to clean that stuff up.
What do you want to do offensively specifically to really kind of keep pushing down the field? That was a nice drive there in the final play.
Yeah, we just got to get some consistency, right? And again, we're here and there and everywhere, so we're right there. I feel good, but we've got to make some plays. So.
What about defensively, Coach?
We're playing great defensively, right? We're playing great. We got to get the ball in the end zone.
All right, we appreciate your time.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks to Coach Negan. He's an honest guy. He was a little fired up. That penalty really bothered him. You could tell in his answer there. So 14-0 Cooper as the Hawks marching band making its way on the field. We'll come back with more football in a moment here. Cooper leading Armstrong here in the Section 5 5A championship.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Where's your emergency?
Everyone's on their way. What happened? Your friend's not breathing. She's dead? Yes, please get my mom and dad. Oh my God!
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
There's so many rewards in life. You coming into our home was one of the greatest rewards we could have ever had.
You know, it took 20 years, and I got my third child, who was 17 at the time.
It's so cool to watch the adult that you've become, and you really have done as much for us as you think we've done for you.
If you love them enough to crawl into a play place to get them to come down, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right seat to make sure they're in the right car seat.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars. Really tall. I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands? Yes. You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back here to Cooper. Windy night, not too bad temperature-wise, certainly for November, but got a little bit of a breeze to deal with as you get a look at the Cooper marching band. Let's look and listen to them for a bit, and then we'll get to our halftime highlights. So thanks to the Cooper band here. Let's take a look at some highlights from the opening half of tonight's contest here. Russell, a little pump fake and then goes back to David Connors. A little jump ball. Good physical receiver there, and he outfought Cotton to haul that one in for the touchdown. It was the last play of the quarter. And then Malone under pressure. Dante Williams takes it back the other way. I think the good thing for college is he realized right away it was going to be intercepted, so he started running right away and caught him. But Denari Connors able to take it in for the touchdown from 4 yards out for Cooper. That came with 2:45 to play in the first half, and that made it a 14-0 lead with the extra point. As we could look at the first half stats, a little bit surprising, especially in terms of Armstrong out rushing Cooper by more than a 2-1 margin, and it's been Cooper that's done it through the air. Jack Nagan saying, just need to make a few more plays. They've overall done some decent things. Obviously the turnover was certainly big, and that hurt them very much the first time that these two teams met as well.
Yeah, they've really only given up the one touchdown to Connors on the back shoulder. Almost a perfect throw, and Cotton was right there, but then on the turnover you give it up and set your offense up with a short field.
So it is Cooper leading at 14-0 as we get a little look at the band again. And earlier this season I had a chance to visit with Joe Russell, the third-year starter at quarterback for the Cooper Hawks. He was featured in our CCX Sports Spotlight a little over a month ago, I believe it was. And let's take a look at that story now.
As high school quarterbacks go, he's about as experienced as any you'll find. Cooper senior Joe Russell is in the middle of his third season starting and shining for the Hawks.
We knew he was going to be a really great player as a freshman, and then going into his sophomore year, it's just been a pleasure to coach. He's a respectable young man, obviously athletic, gets the job done in the classroom as well. So he's one of those guys that makes me happy as a coach coming to practice.
Russell's grown as a leader, and this year has even stepped it up a notch vocally.
Every year since my sophomore year, all my coaches, my parents were telling me I need to be more vocal. So I think it was probably the Armstrong game. I went at halftime and I gave them a little pep talk. We came out and did our jobs in the second half.
Joe threw for nearly 2,000 yards and 20 touchdowns as a sophomore, and piled up a shade under 1,400 yards passing with 12 TDs in the pandemic-shortened 2020 season.
Russell throwing for the end zone and a touchdown.
The schedule's gotten tougher this fall, but he averaged over 200 yards passing with 9 TDs through the first 4 games. A stellar receiving core helps, and they love their QB.
He's super smart, actually. He has a really good arm, and he knows where the ball needs to go. He can read defenses very easily, and he's also very athletic, so getting out of pocket is nothing for him.
He's definitely a leader on the field. That helps a lot. He definitely pushes every one of his receivers to be the best they can on and off the field, whether it's being in the playbook, giving full effort, or anything like that.
And Joe relies on that experienced group of pass catchers to let him know what they are seeing from opposing defenses too.
I think every play we run, we find an opening, our team. We have a very smart team, so every time we run a play, they're coming back to me telling me what they see, and I tell Coach Teepee, and he calls the play for them.
Russell throwing it up deep downfield for Connors, tipped, and he's got it.
Joe, actually, he's really good about giving us all the ball, especially when we need it. We need big plays, and it's actually really nice to have a bunch of different playmakers, so like I don't have to have like a bunch of weight on my shoulders. Joe doesn't have to have weight on his shoulders, and we all can just get the ball and make plays the way we need to.
Russell's, of course, worked closely with Hawks offensive coordinator and co-head coach Tony Patterson. They've started to think alike.
Every game, me and my center, we literally make a bet on what first play he's gonna call. So our chemistry with me and Coach Teepee and our whole offense, because we've been working with him for the past 3 years, so we really know probably what he's gonna call on what play and what situation.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we'll be at practice, and I'll try to tell him what reads. He's like, I already got it, and so it's kind of it's been cool to see the transition. He's been getting stronger, smarter, and he's actually a student of the game, and so that's what you want at that quarterback position.
Joe is getting a lot of Division I college interest, but some project him at positions other than quarterback. He's taking that in stride while considering offers.
I would love to play quarterback in college. That's really where my main thought is, but if they need me somewhere else and I have a better opportunity to place another position, I'll do it, without a doubt.
I feel like Joe's a quarterback. It's not a biased opinion of mine. I think he's one of the better quarterbacks in the state, and whoever gets him will get a great competitor, a great leader. I know that some schools are recruiting him as an athlete, but my own personal opinion, I think he's a quarterback, and I think he's a darn good one too.
No doubt Joe Russell's teammates and opponents agree. His college position will sort itself out. But for now, the goal is getting the Hawks in position to reach the state playoffs for the first time since the mid-1990s.
Great young man there, Joe Russell, and so far his team leading it by a score of 14-0. Let's go down to Allie with Coach Howard.
Coach, a great defensive showing in that first half. What do you want to see your defense bring from that first half into the second?
Run our feet. We're making a lot of good adjustments. We're getting to the ball carrier, but we're stopping our feet and getting a couple extra yards. So I really want to see our defense rally to the ball, running our feet, all 11 guys to the ball, staying disciplined, watching for the double pass, double moves, second half.
Losing Camden Royal in that first half is definitely a blow to your offense, but we saw you guys keep prevailing. What do you want to carry from that first half, but maybe even make some adjustments to your offense in the second?
We didn't lose Camden Royal. Camden Royal's been up and down them sidelines cheering the players on, and so that's who we are. We say family. We've been doing it for 12 years, calling it family, and next man's up, and that's what's happening. Our offensive line, we got a little bit more added pressure on them to finish their blocks so that the next guy can go ahead and get to the end zone.
And what do you guys need to do to make sure that Armstrong doesn't stage a comeback here in the second half to make it to state?
Expectation is to play Cooper-style football. I asked my kids to give me 100, leave everything on the field, empty the gas tank, and if they can do that, then we have a good opportunity. It is essentially 0-0. We have to win the second half.
Appreciate your time, Coach.
Thanks, Allie, and thanks to Coach Howard there. And it was interesting to say, Camden Royal, we didn't lose him. He's still participating out there, and that's great to hear. I mean, obviously it's a kind of a blow when you get hurt and a big game and pretty early in the game in your senior year and all of that, but it sounds like he's still very much in his teammates' ears on the sideline. We'll take a quick timeout. Armstrong just coming back to the field right now. We will come back in a moment here. 14-0 Cooper as we get set for half two.
Honey, what I think you need is a socket wrench.
I played JV basketball.
I'm sorry. I don't think it looks right.
This is good, and it's all good, baby.
Is it really all good?
If you love me enough to routinely test your handyman skills,
not to mention the strength of your marriage, then of course you'll visit nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure I'm in the right car seat.
I'm gonna call my dad.
When we adopt a shelter pet, we discover they're a unique mix of all kinds of things.
Come on, Jules, spot on this last one. There it is. Keep going with it. Leo.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love.
I tell my son, I love you every single day.
I love you.
Now, my dad has never said that to me. Not because he doesn't love me, but because culturally it wasn't comfortable for him. Now that he's a grandfather, he says, I love you to my son every time he sees him. My advice to all the fathers out there, forget the cultural restrictions. They grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
Last week, Brandon met a girl on a dating app. One day after work, he finally found the courage to ask her out. No answer. He started to panic. Was he being too pushy? Maybe it was too...
Hey, sorry I didn't respond. I was driving. I would love to go on a date. How does tonight sound?
Brandon tried to play it cool, but inside he knew. A girl so smart, so responsible. She must be a keeper.
Jason, let's go see your room.
No, that's not right.
How is it? Is it good? And welcome back here to Cooper High School. Joe Russell warming up. His team will get the football first here to begin at quarter number 3, and they are leading it by a score of 14-0. This game, of course, a 5 o'clock start tonight. We've got a lot of football around in Class 6A this evening as well. It's second-round games. 2 teams from our viewing area survived round 1 in 6A. That would be Maple Grove, third on the bracket there, hosting Eastridge, and also Wayzata as well. As you look at some of the bracket there, Wayzata is at Stillwater tonight. A lot of people saying they got a pretty good shot, even though Stillwater's had a great year and the number 1 seed. But it'll be interesting to see how that one comes out. And I think that Centennial STMA game could be a pretty good one as well. And some of the other matchups look pretty good as well. And Anoka's kind of had a nice comeback year as well. They might have a tall order tonight, but they have definitely rebounded and done some good things this year after some down years in what was once a very strong program too up there in Anoka.
Yeah, Shakopee's got things kind of going in the right direction, and there's some solid teams still left, that's for sure. Now's when it gets fun.
I want to make note too, another one in 5A, Park Center. What a story they've been this year. A couple winless years. And now they are in a section final playing at Rogers tonight. And so the Pirates really made a big turnaround. Somewhat of a soft schedule. I don't think I'm going out on a limb by saying that, but they won their first playoff game over Buffalo and got a good opponent tonight in Rogers. And we'll see if they are able to come through and get into the 5A playoffs as well. Obviously, we're going to have one of these Robbinsdale teams in either way. And you see that Armstrong has generally been a better first half team. So Cooper will get the football first here, and I think this drive to start the second half might be a pretty key one.
And they took the wind here in the third quarter for kicking purposes. Oh,
yeah, that one's going to fall off the tee.
Yeah. And I'll just kind of reiterate what I said. I think the first time we did Cooper Armstrong, you don't want to kick in number 4's direction.
No,
I don't believe.
We were, what, 15 seconds into the game when he hit the end zone going in the same direction in that first meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, this will be interesting, though, because normally you say you might just kick it on the ground, but with this much of a wind at your back, if you think you can get a touchback,
then
you're going to go for that.
Go for it, yeah.
And they do drive it over Connor's head, and it will indeed get to the end zone for a touchback. And I think smart for Connors there. You say, okay, if it's short, I'm going to be in a position to field it. If not, it goes over my head. No big deal. We get it and bring the offense out.
Yep, just get it, huddle up, and let's go. And you don't want to say that this is the critical drive or the critical series for Armstrong, but it's pretty important, Jay, that their defense gets a stop here, and tries to get back in this game with a score.
Denari Connors in the backfield with Russell here, 1st and 10 from the 20. Handoff goes to Connors. Nice gap. Now he tries to bounce it outside, and that was one of the few times where he maybe didn't make the cut that you would have said that he should have made there. And we get flags down late.
Got a late flag. I wonder.
Dalen Gurley on that stop, by the way, and this one came in quite a while after the end of the play here.
Yeah, it sure did.
Officials meeting to discuss it.
Got Cooper pointing Armstrong's way. Oh.
It's going to be a half the distance penalty against Cooper.
Okay.
It's really after the play's done, because this flag came in very late. I don't think we're going to see it at all on that.
Yeah, I wonder if it's something somebody said, Jay, or, could be one of those. As I saw the flag fly through the air, I was thinking of Coach Nagin's remarks at halftime, that we can't do anything stupid like we did on that first drive.
The 2nd down and 18, so half the distance penalty, and now they're trying to make sure on the distance, I think, here. Obviously, it's a little less straightforward than just a 15-yarder where it would be, in a different spot on the field.
Yeah, Connor split way out to their left, but Armstrong giving another D-back out there, safety out there, kind of a 3-on-2 situation, which you kind of almost have to do with Connors. Cooper has to be kind of a little careful down here.
Fakes the handoff. Russell gets it out and right on target to Jackson Howard. Breaks a tackle, and Howard will be out to midfield. How's that for getting out of the shadow of your own goalpost there? A 38-yard pickup to big Jackson Howard. He's been a force at defensive end tonight, and this time coming through. Again, they don't use a tight end, in terms of the pass game all that much in this offense, but what a weapon to have right there.
Oh, yeah, and they have so many weapons, Jay, as we've talked about before. That time they just ran Jackson Howard, on really a little drag route across the field, and he did the rest.
Russell keeping it this time. And he is met at about the 45-yard line. He'll pick up about 5. And back when these teams met for the first time, Russell was a little banged up, and they would not have run this play, I don't think, at that point in the season. He had a little bit of an injury at that time, but obviously feeling a little more confident. They've, every other play in that similar situation, they've handed it off to Connors, and he tried to catch him. Armstrong, yes, they gave up 5, but they actually reacted a little better than I first thought it was going to be.
No, they defended that actually pretty well, because Russell's pretty good ball handler, and they were quick to react to him keeping the ball.
Howard is in there as a fullback, going to run right behind him, and there's Denari Connors. He'll be very close and should have the first down. Yes, he will, as he crossed the 40-yard line. That's they go a little bit of a heavy looks. Howard at 6'4", 240 in there at fullback.
That's quite a fullback, and that's old school football there, Jay. 2-back situation, kind of like the old I formation, and follow your blocker and pick up the first down. Cooper has a lot of ways to beat you. They really do. They're so versatile and lots of weapons.
From the Armstrong 40 back to Denari Connors. A good push on that left side. Tried to cut that one out though and brought down by Seth Newbern.
Yeah, and that's about as good as you can do. About as good as you can do against Denari, and you want to try to force him east-west if you can, because he starts, changing direction north-south and gets that vision going, and he's tough.
There's Willie Howard telling him, get up the field there. We can't have you. And we actually praise him a couple times for making a little bit of cuts. And obviously it's not it's not something where it's just easy to say it. You're out there playing it. But that time I think it was true. He needed to just keep getting upfield.
Just go north-south.
So he gets a spot on the bench for the moment. Colley breaking a tackle there. Little stiff arm on McClomb, and McClomb able to wrestle him. Actually not out of bounds. There's a flag at the end of the play again. They did not call him out of bounds. His forward progress was stopped inbounds, but there is a flag which did lead to the stop of the clock here.
Colley really did a nice job, Jay, I thought, of kind of extending that play and just was not going down. Just keep that thing going.
See what this call is going to be. Probably another dead ball. Yes, it is. And we've got unsportsmanlike conduct against Cooper.
Yeah, two pretty costly penalties against Cooper in this half.
There's Colley. You see stepping through the first couple tackles. Good stiff arm. McClomb, though, stayed with him.
Mm-hmm.
And then it happens way away from this, way back in the middle of the field again, with linemen getting after each other a little bit.
And this time, I believe, is it third? It is second down. Okay, it is second. They've got third across the field on the sticks, but.
Well, they're going to need to get that squared away.
Yeah, they are. I was thinking it's second down.
Oh, dead ball foul, though. The play had already occurred, so it will be third, yeah.
There we go.
So way back at the 47, that's tough to overcome these kind of things on a drive. 15-yarders, not good. Russell, had a rush coming. The throw, it's tipped and almost intercepted. But it'll wind up incomplete.
Yeah, so close.
Wilson was there and almost had the pick. And boy, Russell had the rush coming right in his face. Getting it out to the sideline. There's, just about had the interception. Going to be a punt formation now for Cooper, so penalties definitely hurting what had been a very promising drive for them.
All right. Yeah, they had definitely had some rhythm going there, and they were able to run off, not quite 4 minutes, I guess, off the clock. Yeah, 2 penalties just really hurt them. If it wasn't for that drag route by Jackson Howard, they'd really be in the deepest part of their own end.
Williams, the punter, driving this one low, and again doing what they wanted to. This time a little bit of a sideways bounce late. It'll be down at about the 19.
He's done a pretty good job with that, though, Jay, against the wind, right? And kind of, again, directional. This time, I think last time they had to start at their own 10. This time at their own 20.
And they put together a very nice drive late in that first half, but just couldn't quite finish it off.
Yeah. I'm just thinking they're probably going to have to put it in the air a little bit more. It's not panic time or anything, and Evans is running the ball nice and everything, but some of those hitch routes possibly, they don't always have to go up top.
Malone will run it. And Colley wraps him up and will bring him down after a pickup of about 5.
Yeah, I could kind of see Cooper's defense sort of licking their chops on that one a little bit. That they don't always get a shot at the quarterback running the ball for Armstrong.
Colley, just a freshman, seeing key minutes in a section championship.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Gave him 6 on the play, actually, so 2nd and 4. Malone throwing, complete to McGowan. And Williams grabs him around the waist and wrestles him down. It will be enough for the first down, it appears. Just out over the 30 as they brought him backward, but.
Yeah, nice job by McGowan. There's one of those little hitch routes I was just talking about, Jay. And yeah, it's a good way to move the ball down the field, kind of safe.
Malone will run it again. Malone getting to the sideline, and Williams shoves him out. And just over midfield, he will be into Cooper territory at about the 48.
Yeah. Well, right away you can see a change in their offensive strategy with running the quarterback. 2 out of 3 plays so far. Showed some nice speed on that one too.
Evans taking the handoff and was hit very early on by Jackson Howard. Falls forward for about a yard perhaps on the play. Yeah, it's kind of disappointing. And if you're Armstrong, I say Evans had over 100 yards rushing in the first half, but it still resulted in nothing points-wise.
Right. Usually when you do that, you're going to have at least a score.
Malone throwing, it's intercepted again. Williams one more time with the pick here for the Hawks. Tried to fire that one along the sideline, and Dante Williams was ready.
Boy, was he ever. I have to see it, but gee, it looks like he threw it right to him, Jay.
Now they looked at little bootleg again, and then firing. Yeah, I don't think he saw him as he was trying to go to Newbern. That one had no chance to get through.
No.
Might have been advised to go to the shorter guy, Franke, there.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's all about decision making too, and it was very costly.
I'm glad to see we did not jinx Dante Williams by talking him up in the pregame. Couple of interceptions here tonight.
That is good.
Denari Connors trying to bounce it outside. Now cuts it up nicely. And Coach Howard's probably saying, yes, that's what I'm talking about. You look to get to the edge, but then when you see a seam, you got to hit it.
You got to go north-south. Yeah, you got to get north-south.
He'll pick up about 7 here. And I like, too, what Coach Howard said about, his veteran offensive line takes on even a little extra added responsibility when you've got a young back in there. They really want to open holes for him.
Yeah, that's right. And they do have a veteran O-line. It's basically big on big to get the first down here.
Connors easily picks up the first down, and that's a great feeling for your offense and for your play caller when you can say, we're not going to do anything fancy here. We need 3, and we're going to run for 4 with no trouble at all.
Right. The push on Cooper's O-line against Armstrong's D that time, Jay, was impressive. Just great push. And again, offensive coordinators, they'll take 4 yards every time.
Connors again, this time met pretty early. Ooh, and a physical stop there defensively, driving him backward by unnamed player there.
Yeah, I thought it was 58.
Which we don't have on our roster.
No,
so
we don't.
Love to call his name, but you've got to put it on the roster.
Right.
Sorry, in 2021, a roster should be accurate every night.
He made a nice play. 58 made a very nice play there.
Handoff this time going to Colley, and he'll pick up a couple.
And as you said, wow, this a 9th grader getting this kind of experience. That just really bodes well for Cooper football in the future. We'll have him for 3 more years after this year. Now we got Connors down here again one-on-one, but they are sliding a safety over, Jay, which is probably very smart.
3rd and about 6. Russell, play action, throwing deep downfield. That one's intercepted by Wilson. Overthrew his intended target, and here's Cordell Wilson coming back the other way. And down he goes as he crosses the 40-yard line here. So there might be the turnover Armstrong needs to get themselves going a little bit.
Yeah. Could be.
As Russell is picked off.
Yeah, clearly just overthrew Connors, and this time Armstrong wasn't going to let it go through their fin. They're going to snatch this one.
It was almost like Wilson was the guy running the route there, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, made a great grab. Nice little return too.
Yeah, you might want to think twice about leaving your feet though when they're coming to blast you like this. The end of this turned painful, I think.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Right.
And off to Evans. Evans cutting through a gap, and he'll pick up a first down as Colley brings him down after a gain of about 12 or 13.
You know, on 2 or 3 runs tonight, Jay, it feels like Evans is maybe one play away, one arm away, whatever, just breaking it. He's a slasher is what he is. He's just a slasher and taking good care of the football too.
We have a timeout, an official's timeout with an injured Cooper player, I believe, here.
Yeah, I agree with what you said earlier too about Evans and how many yards he racked up rushing, but just couldn't break through in that first half.
It's Jackson Howard who is a little shaken up, and he'll make his way to the sideline. Doesn't look terribly serious at first glance, but
I'm watching his head though. I'm watching his face. Yeah, little bit foggy, Jay. I don't know. We'll see. What a player he is, huh?
Oh yeah. 1st and 10 Armstrong. They trail it 14-0. 4:21 to go here in the third quarter. Falcons trying to put a drive together and see if they can't cut the deficit. Here's Evans breaking tackles again. Evans into the secondary. Blabber with a nice tackle at around the 30, but another nice pickup there for the Falcons.
Maybe a TD saving tackle on that, Jay, I think.
Yeah, it certainly might have been.
Yeah. Yeah, nice job. Nice job on kick out block by Ethan Mai for Armstrong. Just kicking the Cooper defender out, and Evans cuts inside.
From the 30 now, Malone wanted to throw. Now he'll step up and run. Oof. Big collision there as he was
popped by Dante Williams, huh?
Yeah, it was Colley who had him wrapped up, and then Williams came in with a shoulder and blasted him. About a 2-yard pickup or so for Malone. Don't think that was necessarily a called run, but he wasn't going to hold the ball too long once what he was looking for downfield wasn't there.
Right.
Oh, and the snap gets away from Malone. He's going to have to just fall on it all the way back at around the 40-yard line. Ouch, that does not help their cause.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. There's a little bit of a theme kind of forming here, Jay. Some just either ill-timed penalties or bad snaps. Yeah. God, just really kills your momentum and any kind of rhythm.
Yeah, it's kind of 2 steps forward and 1 back here for Armstrong, and that's kind of how the night's gone. I mean, overall, they've had some good offensive looks, but
they're giving Newbern a lot of space over there, Jay.
Firing downfield, it's complete to Peyton Newbern. Going to be short of the first down, but he is going to put him in a spot where they're definitely close enough to not hesitate to go here.
And this is that nice ball by the quarterback. This is that deep hitch that they've hit a couple times tonight. And they're bringing in their nose guard on the wing over here as a potential blocker.
4th down and 3 now.
Kind of need to get this play going here.
Wonder if they might think about a timeout here. No. Ooh, a high snap again. They give it off to Evans. He'll break a tackle. Evans looking to get inside the 5. David Connors brings him down at about the 4.
Yep.
They might have surprised Cooper by running the ball there a little bit, but Evans ripping off another nice gainer.
Yep. And that seems to, that's a big part of their game plan tonight. And again, I use the term, I know I've said it before, but just a really good slashing run by Evans again.
So here we go, 1st and goal. It's Malone trying to get there. He stood up.
Oh, we got a push, but I don't think they're going to get there.
So it'll be second down goal to go here for the Falcons.
Yeah, and I think Armstrong likes to go, and this would be the time to go fast while you have Cooper on their heels just a little bit, Jay.
Second and goal from the 2. Malone pitching to Evans. He drops it.
Oh, my goodness.
And looks like he's able to pick it back up there. Kind of a risky play to try and scoop it instead of just falling, but he'll be back about at the line of scrimmage there. First of all, the snap almost got away again.
Right,
and then,
right.
I don't know. I'm not loving pitching it in that spot, really, but because the defense obviously can be coming full go forward.
Oh, sure. Yeah. I think they have to run this play. Of course, they could call timeout. The white hat's coming over here. The clock's still running, though.
No, it's not actually.
No. Did it stop?
There's going to have to be some adjustment to it, I think.
Yeah, because it was running for a while.
And it should have been. No reason it would have stopped.
Right.
I'm not really sure what's going on here clockwise. Third down goal to go here for Armstrong. Kind of a must score for them. Hand off to Evans, and he has stood up, and he will not be close to getting there. And going to be fourth down and goal. They'll lose a little bit on that one.
They did put a fair amount of time back on the clock. Yeah, this is right into the teeth. Just couldn't get it blocked at all, Jay.
So under 30 seconds to go, Armstrong will need to run this play before the quarter or possibly use a timeout. But fourth down goal to go here. Yep. Malone rolling to the left, looking, he throws, and it is caught. There's McGowan for the touchdown. Armstrong really needed that one, and they get it. Malone to McGowan.
Yeah, nice hook up there. Pitch and catch. We talked about McGowan before the game, and they went trips to this side, and Cooper just couldn't cover them all. And a nice ball by Malone there. And very much needed score by Armstrong. Get themselves back in this game. And he converted that extra point, Jay.
So it is 14-7 Hawks now with 13 seconds left.
A little bit of a sprint out here. Kind of a flood, I'm guessing sort of a flood situation. Yeah. McGowan finds the spot.
Well protected too there. It kind of looked like Cooper was still thinking maybe we might get run up the middle and
might get Evans again, right? Yeah. Well, we talked a little bit before the game about Armstrong hanging around. So we'll see. Critical series and one full quarter left of football here, championship football.
Big for them to finally finish off a drive. They very much feel they're right there now, whereas for a while, starting to think of when Cooper first started that drive.
Yeah, and they were just sort of snake bit. I mean, high snaps and penalties and different stops and drops. He's got the wind here, Jay, so we'll see if he just puts the leg into it, gets it in the end zone again.
Instead, going to go a little shorter with it, but it will indeed get into the end zone. So touchback here, and Cooper will get the football with 13 seconds left, and now their lead has been trimmed to 7.
They didn't have Connors deep on that one, Jay. They didn't put Connors as one of their deep guys on that one. Kind of interesting. Had Terrence Matthews back there.
So Russell turned it over on that interception. Go with the handoff, first down. Denari Connors trying to pick his way through there. Armstrong ripping at the ball a little bit. He'll pick up about 2 or 3, and that's going to be the last play of the third quarter. Armstrong coming in with a touchdown late in the third, and they are within 7 now after 3 quarters here in the Section 5 5A championship. Cooper 14, Armstrong 7. Cooper, our score after 3 quarters here tonight. The winner goes to state. We are guaranteed a Robbinsdale District team in the state playoffs. The question is, which one will it be? So far, Cooper up by 7. Give off there to Connors, and he is knocked down, and you can kind of see Armstrong, their defense, feeding off that touchdown a little bit of momentum for them.
That's Fourier again. Jay did this before in the game, and he's becoming kind of a tough guy to block too, coming from his DN position.
Key third down here coming up, 3rd and 6 for the Hawks early in the 4th.
At Connors one-on-one out here.
Russell throwing to Connors. He is blasted by Cotton, but he's going to be far enough ahead to pick up the first down. Connors, good concentration. He paid the price as he got hit just as he caught it, but I guess he was just beyond the sticks here. You see he ends up getting driven back, but it's the forward progress where he caught the ball was just over the 30. Looked like a pretty accurate spot there.
Well, this is when the playmakers have to shine on either side, Jay, and of course Connors is definitely a go-to guy, although he's coming out for at least one play right now. There, Russell put it right in his breastplate there. It was his beautiful ball.
Power look here. They go to Denari Connors. Tarikas did a really nice job scraping off, and he'll bring him down for no gain.
Yeah, he really did. He really did.
See, getting to the edge. See if Cooper is going to stick with this. They've got a heavy formation. Howard was in there at fullback, and either an extra lineman or a tight end there.
And he's coming out to his tight end position.
A little more traditional look here. 2nd and 11. They're going to go back to Connors on the ground, and a nice stop by Devin Jones for Armstrong. A pickup of about 2 for Connors, and Cooper maybe going a little conservative here.
A little bit, yeah, a little bit. And they're starting to stuff Connors a bit more, Jay. And we got about 3rd and 8 here, 3rd and 9. See where they put Connors. And, yeah, so they're coming kind of a 2-by-1. And of course, you got Jackson. Jackson Howard had kind of a wing here. They ran him on that drag earlier.
Russell going to throw it to Jackson Howard, turns, and Wilson able to get him down to the ground. Nice job. He's given up a lot of size there, but he went low and got Howard's knee to touch the ground there. And so they'll be way short of the first down and presumably have to punt.
Yeah, I don't think this play really had a chance to get to the sticks, Jay, even with Jackson Howard. As great of an athlete as he is, he's not going to get there. Well, Cooper with the win.
Cotton and McClomb. Now McClomb coming back up just in case Cooper is thinking about going for it here.
Oh, a
high snap over Williams' head. They didn't have a rush on, though. Williams trying to get free. He's grabbed as he's kicking it. And that ball will be dead right at the 45-yard line. As a snap over Williams, he went back and got it.
He's a runner.
Yeah,
at that point.
yeah. So tackling him is not an issue there. He's,
right.
You can't assume he's going to punt at that spot. He might have been better off just kicking as soon as he grabbed it there without running a little bit, but
fortunate to get anything off there, really. Yeah. Also fortunate that there wasn't an Armstrong person kind of out on the wing there to get that Sunday hop and probably take it the distance. Well, if you're Armstrong, Jay, you're liking the fact that momentum's put on a white jersey here for a bit. See what they can do with it.
At Cooper's 45, they just scored late in the third to pull within 14-7, and now prime field position. And as Joe said, the momentum certainly with Armstrong right now also. Fake it to Evans. Malone rolling and throwing and complete to McGowan. Nice throw. And we're going to have a flag at the end. I think this is going to be a late hit as they hit McGowan out of bounds, it appeared, around the 31-yard line.
Yeah, kind of a levels receiver situation there. And going to our guy McGowan that we talked about earlier in the game, or before the game. McGowan's pointing towards Cooper for the penalty.
It is a personal foul and a late hit. So we get the completion and then the penalty as well. And Cooper has hurt themselves with personal fouls here tonight. Armstrong had one early as well, but that time personal foul, a couple unsportsmanlike. Here's Evans.
Another hard run. Still picking up some positive yardage. It wasn't much there. I like what Armstrong's doing, Jay. When they put Malone into that half roll or that sprint out, and he's coming downhill with the ball. He's got some nice momentum. It helps him with some velocity on his ball.
2nd and 8 for Armstrong. Football just inside the 15. Armstrong trying to tie it up or maybe even go ahead. Oh, it got the handoff to Evans. Boy, they were kind of wrestling for the ball there. Almost looked like Malone wanted it back.
Yeah, and I think if we see it again, I'm not sure, but I think Cooper, had a blitz on as well. Kind of all gaps covered.
Oof, that one nearly what turned into a disaster for Armstrong there. So a 3rd and 6 here for the Falcons. 7:25 to go in the 4th. They're down 14-7. Malone's going to run it himself. Oh, what a great tackle. That one could have went somewhere, but staying with it for Cooper was Zurbis to make the stop. It looked like there was quite a bit of space beyond him, but Zurbis with strong hands able to drag him down.
Boy, he doesn't make that tackle, Jay, and Armstrong might be striking up the band. That was quite a play because Malone was making some positive yardage.
Here we go, 4th down for the Falcons.
Again, you got Newbern one-on-one down here. They're coming up in a press situation. Robbinsdale in a man-to-man all over the place. Robbinsdale Cooper.
Malone spinning out to the left, throwing on the run. It is complete. Let's see, is he in? Yes, it's a touchdown.
Is it to McGowan? No, here we go.
Seth Newbern this time for the Falcons.
Just got inside the pylon there.
We've got a flag. Do we have a flag down?
I actually couldn't see the touchdown. I was just watching the reaction of the Armstrong people. They were going crazy over there.
We do have a flag, but it might be after the play, so we might see the touchdown stand or...
Let's see, personal foul.
Oh, roughing the passer.
Well, they're going to decline that, obviously.
You think?
Master of the obvious, right? Well, I know it's only an extra point, but he is going against the wind, so could be interesting.
So Armstrong fighting back, trying to tie it up here. And it's blocked.
Yeah.
So Cooper will maintain the lead.
Wow.
Stays at 14-13.
Seemed like the block came from kind of the midpoint there, huh? Somebody got up.
Another look at this little rollout.
Little half roll that they've been using. Does a nice job going the other way, and yeah. I think maybe Newbern extended the ball there, Jay, huh? That's how he got it.
Yeah, because his body wasn't in, but the ball was to the plane there, and then it hit the pylon too. But then you see good penetration off the edge there. And yeah, I don't know for sure if it was the middle guy or they were in there. Looks like they're congratulating David Connors. Maybe.
Okay. Connors was almost in there first, and then Dante Williams kind of backed him up. Yeah.
So 14-13. Great news for Armstrong that they scored a touchdown, but then Cooper gets the block kick to maintain the lead.
Yeah. Yeah, and if you're Armstrong, I mean, there's still 6 and change left. Everybody's got their timeout, so again, as they say, plenty of time, plenty of football left here, and pressure kind of switches a little bit, I think, Jay, to Cooper to at least get a couple first downs.
Here's that roughing the passer penalty coming into play here. Look where they're kicking from, the Cooper 45. They could very easily try an onside kick here. They're not going to, though. They're going to drive it into the end zone.
Yeah.
And so a touchback where Cooper will start at the 20. But even though they're excited that they still got the lead, the momentum is definitely on Armstrong's side right now. I think Cooper, they got to kind of get their mojo back a little bit offensively here.
They do. They need a play. They need a play or two. And usually when that happens, it's usually 7-4. Number 7 to number 4. Typically, but again, as we've said, they got plenty of weapons. You know, they got Jackson Howard. They got plenty of guys. Kind of a bit of a trips formation this time.
Hand off to Denari Connors, and he is mad, and that one's going nowhere. Good job by Tariquez again, who's made some plays tonight for the Falcons. And it'll be right back to the line of scrimmage, it looks like, so no gain.
I know I said this earlier in the game, Jay, but I'm a little surprised that they haven't kind of done what Armstrong, you know, we've seen Russell do that sprint out, half roll, boot, if you will, get him on the edge and really put pressure on the defense. He's been pretty much in drop back mode tonight.
2nd and 10 now for Cooper. Russell. Pump fake, throwing deep for David Connors. Oh, and just off his fingertips. Incomplete. They look like they might have the home run strike there, but just out of his reach.
Boy, and I'll you know, and you just never want to count this kid out. I mean, he almost comes up with this. Yeah, definitely the right guy. Just a titch too long.
Double move there. Had him well behind the defender, but you know, even for good quarterbacks, though, throwing the ball that far downfield, I mean, that's not an easy completion to make in that spot.
No, not at all. But Connors can really make you look good, though, Jay. He's made probably in his career, he's made Russell look good on many occasions. They still got him kind of one-on-one over here.
Timeout taken by Cooper for this crucial 3rd and 10 play here. 5:38 to go in the ball game. Armstrong has scored the only points of the second half to pull within 14-13. And trying to get a 3 and out here or get a stop if they can and get the football back. At this point in the game, you know, you might possibly be looking at only having it once more if you're the Falcons. So
yeah, that's right.
Got to make the most of it, which they have been able to do much better here in the second half. You know, at halftime, I don't know that I like their odds of getting back in this one. You and I talked a little bit, Joe, and it just kind of felt like it was maybe going to go Cooper's way. But I give credit to Armstrong. They have fought back.
They have. They have fought and scraped and slashed their way to this 14-13 situation. I think that was a really good timeout by Cooper and Coach Patterson. Yeah, the OC going out there, kind of settling things down. And I think we got Jackson Howard out here in the slot. Keep an eye on him.
Russell looking, now gets rid of it deep downfield for Connors, and he had it and lost it as he took a good pop there from Armstrong's Nick Brandner, and Connors is hurt too.
Yeah, right in the middle of the field.
He went up and he had both hands on it, and I think was going to make the catch, but obviously you're up exposed up in the air there, and he took a hard hit. And let's hope Connors is going to be all right here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see he was up in the air, and
that's usually a ball that he'll catch, Jay. I mean,
yeah, like I said, I'm confident in saying I think he would have had it if not for the hit, and it just knocked him. He was in a vulnerable spot and knocked him. Landed hard on his hip, it looked like, or stomach.
I was kind of following Jackson Howard a little bit to see if they were going to run, either Jackson down the seam, kind of, or run that drag pattern like they did before.
I'll tell you what, too, good job to not rough the quarterback here, because he was coming straight downhill at him, and then just gave him just a little push.
Right, yep, right at the end.
Oof, that's why throwing over the middle can be scary.
Oh, yeah. And if you're a quarterback, you don't want to be high over the middle. We saw that a little earlier in the game when Russell got intercepted. He was high and got picked. So
keep in mind we had a bad snap on the last punt. Cotton waiting back at about the 45 of Armstrong. This time a very good snap. Williams gets it out of there. A fluttering kick. And kind of a sideways bounce there. It'll go out of bounds at around the 47. So 5:20 to go. Armstrong down by a point, but they have the momentum and get an opportunity to try and take the lead for the first time.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. As they say, we really have us a football game here now, Jay. And, so two good teams, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I said, you when you're kind of the favorite going in, you definitely don't want to let the other team hang around. We'll see if Cooper's D can step up here.
Pitch out to Evans. Evans has some room around the edge. Ooh, and then takes a pop right at the end from Dante Williams. But Evans will be out into Cooper territory, and about the 46 they're going to mark it here.
Great block by Seth Newburn there, Jay, to get Evans some running room on the outside. Great block by Seth Newburn.
So it'll be second and about 3 here at the 46.
Yeah, second and short, second and very makeable. Have an interesting call here. They just want to try to pick up the first down or maybe go up top.
Going to pitch it out to Evans. Evans will have the first down, I think, and he ran backward a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, he had
not a sure thing. He definitely had crossed it, but
definitely had it.
Yeah, David Connors on the stop. He might still have enough, and he will. Yeah, but he almost cost himself, because this isn't a situation where you'd say forward progress, because he cut back on his own, but he still did have enough to get that first down. So Armstrong, as they wind the clock here.
4:40.
Might be their one last big drive to try and take the lead here. 43-yard line of Cooper. 1st and 10. Fakes the handoff. Malone trying to run it now, bouncing it out to the outside, and runs out of room. We've got a flag down, probably a hold, it looks like.
That's what I'm thinking, Jay. Yeah.
2 flags down, in fact.
Yeah. Yeah, it came in from that spot again. Yeah,
going to be a hold, and a lot of times that'll happen when you bounce a play to the outside. Your blocker can't see where you're going, and and he kind of locked onto the defender there. And once you get out into open space, so obviously penalties have been a factor tonight.
Yeah,
probably more so for Cooper, but here's a big one against Armstrong.
Yeah, I think 60. Let's see who we got out there. Looks like 67 maybe did a little bit of huggy bear on that one, Jay.
So that one hurts the Falcons as they'll be pushed back. A first down, and see where they're spotting this, about the 47.
First in November.
Yeah. About 20. Ooh, that snap almost got away. Malone in trouble. Firing it up into traffic. It's going to be out of bounds, it looks like, as Malone was getting blasted. Colley got to him in a hurry. I don't know. Did this snap almost look like it hit the up back on the way back to Malone?
Yeah, there's been some. There's been a little bit of an adventure tonight on snaps, hasn't there, on both sides? Yeah, some of the most basic fundamental things can win or lose you a football game.
Boy, and we're just how quickly things can turn. That penalty and then that play. It wasn't very long ago where you're thinking, wow, Armstrong's in a great position to score and go ahead here. And now you're looking at 2nd and 20, and they're back in their own end of the field.
We'll see if they go to maybe kind of an all-hitch situation.
Delay of game against the Falcons. Ouch.
Yeah, that's insult to injury right there. And
going backward here. So now 2nd down and 25 here for the Falcons.
Trying to find Newbern here, Jay, to see.
And now a false start against Armstrong. Wow. They are really shooting themselves in the foot on this drive. Certain offenses, I've never been a fan of making your linemen stand at the line for a long time while you look to the bench. I know that's a thing for a lot of programs, and that's the way they do it, but to me that leads to things like this. I think we had the left guard or getting a little early start there.
Yeah.
Andrew Hunter.
Yeah, I'm not sure that was going to be. Okay, so you got to sprint out.
Going to throw back here.
All right.
And Cooper was ready for it, though, and that one picks up very minimal yardage there to Evans.
Yeah. Not a bad time for. Depending if you trust your screen game. I was thinking maybe in the first game we had with these guys, I think Armstrong connected on a screen on one play. Got trips to this side, Jay.
3rd and 28. Malone firing. It's complete to Tucker. A lot of bodies, though, to try and get through. And now the ball comes out. And it will be recovered by the Hawks. Andre Reese with the recovery for Cooper, so Armstrong turns it over. Tucker was trying to make something happen. He was still going to be way short of the first down and then had it stripped out. And the Hawks coming up with a huge turnover there.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to know when to get down, Jay. And, he just, I understand the young man trying to do something with it, but
Connors and Williams were both there. Connors had him wrapped up, and I think maybe Williams knocked the ball out, and then Reese coming in to scoop it up. And what a change of events just not very long ago. Armstrong had gotten a stop and looked like they might have a pretty good chance to possibly go ahead. But now Cooper getting the football back at the 48 of Armstrong, and I think they're just going to look to try and run it down their throat right now.
Yeah, I think so. They got Jackson Howard back at fullback again, Jay, and I don't think you need to be Einstein here on what they're going to hand the ball to Connors at least for 1 or 2 plays and bleed this clock a little bit. Armstrong does have 3 timeouts, so if you're thinking ahead on the Armstrong side.
There's a look at Reese, who came up with that big recovery for the Hawks. Russell will hand it off. Denari Connors wrapped up. Yeah, yard, maybe 2 on that one for the Hawks.
And one of the questions I would have, Jay, is how long is Armstrong gonna? When are they gonna call timeout here? Because I think probably gonna see some run game by Cooper. Yeah, Jackson Howard back at fullback again.
Hand it off again to Denari Connors, and a nice stop for the Falcons by Henry Smith, and I think they are gonna. Yeah,
there we go.
That's what I was thinking. If they get a quick stop here, more than likely a timeout.
Got to do it.
Yeah, you do. You really do.
Yeah, you just got to do it, and hope for one last almost kind of miracle finish in a way going against the wind. Armstrong has done a nice job defending Denari Connors. I think he had some nice runs early on in the game, but yeah, look at that. A couple of yards, no yards, couple of yards. Yeah, doing a good job. Of course, they're running in the teeth of that Armstrong D, but you got Jackson Howard out in front of you, and you got to like that.
Depending on what happens on third down here, I think it might be interesting to see if Cooper considers going for it instead of risking a bad punt snap again. I mean, you'd love to pin him deep with a punt.
Yeah.
And you don't want to give him the ball at this spot on the field. Of course, they'd say, let's just go ahead and make this third down instead. Russell rolling to the right. Russell had some space. He's going to be wrapped up, though, short of the first down. However, he stayed in bounds, which was a smart thing.
Yep.
Fourier able to wrap him up.
Stayed in bounds in a very makeable, fourth and makeable here, Jay. Which another timeout by Armstrong. Yeah, he did a great job here. Well, in your little piece with Russell, they talked about what a good student he was, and definitely used his brain on that one. Yeah, good football awareness.
Yeah, he made the Falcons use another timeout there, and instead of going out of bounds. And now, like I said, I don't think it's a hard decision at all that you're going for it here instead of punting with 4th and 1.
No, not at all. Not at all.
I think they're very confident they can get it doing whatever here, whether it just be power.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, making Armstrong use those 2 timeouts too, if you do get this first down, I don't want to say it's quite over, but it's getting close.
Yeah, it is. I think I would almost run Russell again, Jay, on that little boot, little boot rollout or whatever. Because they have been stuffing Denari Connors here on the runs basically into the line. They're going to try to get Armstrong to jump. They're not going for it.
And now Cooper will end up using a timeout. I was going to say, Russell's got to be careful there. He doesn't bob that head too hard, or they could call him. Illegal. Simulating a snap there a little bit.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I just think, though, if you're Cooper, you got to go for this. You can't take a chance at a bad snap on a punt. I mean, I guess you could do a quick kick possibly, but then you'd have to put Russell in some kind of short to medium shotgun. But
yeah, and I think the fact that they advanced the ball like inside the 40 here too, to me it's a no doubter. You go for it.
I think so too. Jackson Howard is not at fullback.
No, he's back up at the tight end spot on the left side.
Right. So.
And they've got an oversized wing in there as well.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
They're going to go to Connors and
I don't know.
Pushing him forward. Armstrong trying to say they've got him stopped. This is going to be close.
It is going to be close. You see, is it a left foot or a right foot spot here, Jay? Huh?
And it will be enough for the first down. Oh, that is big.
Yeah, that is big.
I think Russell tried to give him a little help there after he handed off here. He just got behind him and pushed too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right there.
Yeah. That's asking a lot of a D to get the stop when they only need that much. I mean, they played it about as well as you could, but just didn't quite get the stop.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, and he just kind of squeaked through, you know, a little opening there to pick up that yard.
Russell asking the referee, and he said, yeah, you can watch that back, Judge. He'll let you know when the clock's down.
Yeah, and he's going with the arm right there.
Connors wrapped up. McClomb
use that timeout.
Coming in, and they will, in fact, use a quick timeout, but only 1:45 to go, and that is the last timeout for Armstrong. Again, it's not over. Mathematically, they still very much can get the ball back, but it's going to be a tall order, especially if Cooper takes care of the ball here. Obviously, that's the one big X factor, is if they were able to force a turnover.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's what, 3 downs for Cooper, 3 down territory, if you will, because of the nature of the time and no timeouts.
And if you're just joining us, more than likely in these spots that you would have seen Camden Royal get in the ball, but he went out with the knee injury pretty early in the game for the Hawks. So Denari Connors primarily stepping in, handle the football. He's had over 20 rushing attempts, 21 tonight here. And they haven't all been big ones, but he's been reliable. And
he has, and taking care of the football. And they've gone to him, you know, as you just said, they went to him 20 times.
Russell fakes it this time, and he's going to keep it. Russell has a little room to work with as he gets a block, and he's going to go down inbounds, and Willie Howard is jacked up. He'd love that one. That first down really should seal it up for Cooper. That's what you were asking for before, was go to that again.
Yeah. They're just maybe saving it a little bit, but yeah, that's just such a weapon and puts such pressure on the D. Yeah, and that's probably something as they presumably they win this game, and they're probably going to maybe have to pull that out a little bit more as they advance.
Going to be victory formation here, presumably for the Hawks. Will be under a minute to go when they snap this. Should just need a couple more snaps, and they will be able to celebrate a section championship. Russell will take a knee here.
Yeah. Yeah, Cooper's favorite formation here, right? Very hard fought, though. Very hard fought.
Yeah, you give Armstrong credit. They really came back strong in the second half.
They did.
There is Russell taking a knee, and the celebration is on. The drought is over for Cooper. After 5 section final losses here in recent seasons, they are headed to the state playoffs as the Section 5A champion with a 14-13 win over their arch rivals from Armstrong. Heck of a football game, and these are the kind of games where it's not always going to be glitz and glamour. You have to grit some of them out sometimes in these playoff games, and they were able to do it here tonight.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And as I said, they got away with letting Armstrong hang around. Some key plays down the stretch. Ran Russell a little bit there. And by the way, I saw Camden Royal on crutches, but he looked like he wasn't walking too bad. So hopefully that'll be get him well as they go deeper in the playoffs.
And the good news for Cooper, Willie Howard either pretended he didn't know this or actually didn't know this, but their next game, you don't have far to travel, Hawks fans. Just Osseo High School will be the site, so hop on 169 there and go a little bit north, and the Hawks will be playing Saturday afternoon against the Section 8 champion Bemidji or Alexandria. So congratulations to Cooper. This is the second time just in school history that they'll be headed to state. They made it in '96, and as I said, so many near misses in recent seasons that just kind of had them hungry for this, and they're able to get it. And like we said, Armstrong, some disappointment, but at the same time, a heck of a fight to battle back in this one. I mean, I thought they did a lot of good things in this game here tonight, too. And Willie Howard getting the cold water bath there.
Yeah. And a young Armstrong team, too, Jay. We talked about that a little earlier. It's a young Armstrong team, and they'll learn from this. And they got their O-line back, pretty much their whole O-line back, quarterback. Yeah, they got guys coming back next year, but this is Cooper's night.
Been a long time coming, as we talked about. I mean, first they had to kind of take a step forward and become a winning program, which they've consistently done, and just this step to get into the state playoffs. And I said right at the beginning of the season that I don't know if you'd call them the favorite in the state playoffs, but I don't think there's any doubt they can play with anybody, whether it comes out of, whether it be, Mankato West or Chaska who wins that section, or Andover or Elk River who wins that section. I mean, there's some potential for some good matchups, and I think Cooper has every reason to believe they can compete with any of those teams.
I think they can. I really think they can play with anybody, Jay. We were talking a little earlier pregame. We're talking with Coach Howard. I don't really see a lot of weaknesses, and I think Armstrong really played him tough tonight and so forth, and give Armstrong credit for that. But again, Cooper will learn from this game too, and as you said, sometime winning ugly is still winning, and I think they can play with anybody.
And a good night. A big night, I think, for the Robbinsdale School District, too, to see both of these teams competing in a section championship game like this. And runner-up. Nobody wants to be the runner-up, but it's still an accomplishment for Armstrong to be in this spot, too, and obviously for Cooper to break through and get it. And they get their section championship trophy, and Joe Russell and crew able to raise it up here. They have been thinking about this for an awful long time, as we said, and there've been some near misses in different ways too. They ran into some really good Spring Lake Park teams. They had a game against St. Louis Park here when we were playing in a snowstorm that they, I know they would like to have had that one back and all that, but all that's kind of forgotten now.
Right.
It's all about what happened here tonight, and they're able to get the victory, grit it out, and hold on, get that blocked extra point to carry them into the state playoffs, as you see the Section 5 Class 5A champs.
I think it also shows, Jay, too, how hard it is. I think sometimes this gets overlooked. I think people sometimes don't realize how difficult, even when you've got a really good team like Cooper has, how difficult it is to win a championship. It's hard. It's hard. And and they were able to, as you said, push through and get that thing tonight.
So the students coming in to join in on the fun here for the Hawks as they pick up the win. We'll take a quick break here. Allie's going to find her way through that mob to get a couple of Hawks to talk to here in just a moment. It's Cooper defeating Armstrong 14-13 here in the Section 5A championship.
Worried about your friend, but don't know how to reach out?
You could say, how are you, or get a fake tattoo. You could ask with an app if it works for you. You could chat with them in VR, it's all good. If you think you should check in, yeah, you should. Whatever gets you talking.
Reach out to a friend about their mental health.
Whatever gets you talking.
Learn how you can help at seizetheawkward.org.
Special night here at Cooper. The Hawks hang on to beat Armstrong 14-13 to head to the state playoffs for the first time since the mid-90s and second time in school history. And a couple of happy players join Allie.
All right, guys, I've got Joe Russell and Dante Williams here. We're going to start with Joe. Joe, For only the second time in the history of this school, 25 years ago today was the last time this team headed to the state tournament. What did it take out of your team to be the second team to be advancing to state?
It took a lot of discipline. You know, we came out here, we gave it our all. We had to keep our composure at the end of the game, you know, to stay on top. That blocked field goal that the defense had, that was probably the biggest play of the game. You know, Dante's little pick over here, and we scored off of that. That was one of the biggest drives in the first half that we could ever ask for. So I'm grateful for my line. I'm grateful for my receivers. I'm grateful for my whole defense. I love them all.
Tonight was not an easy one to win. Camden Royal going down shakes up your offense, right? How did you guys have to adjust offensively, and especially in this insane wind?
Yeah, when Cam Royal went down, I seen him put his head down. I walked over to him right away. I told him, we got you. I told him we got his back. His brothers has his back, and he knew that. As soon as, right after that, he got up, and we had to take care of business after that. I told the second string running back, Denari Connors, to go ball out. It was his time to shine, and he did good.
This is the first team in Coach Howard's 14 years of coaching this team to go to state. It's been the statement you guys made since the summer. What does it mean to be able to finally break that barrier and go to the state tournament?
Yeah, all my coaches, I feel so good for all my coaches. I'm so glad they got this opportunity finally after being here so long. All the players, we worked during the summer, 6 hours a day during the summer. You know, it wasn't no easy fight. Armstrong put up a good battle, but we took care of business at the end of the game, and I'm just grateful for everybody on my team.
Joe, congratulations. We'll switch it over to the defensive side here with Dante Williams. Dante, what a defensive effort by your team tonight. There was that blocked extra point, as Joe talked about. There was a fumble recovery that really helped secure in the fourth quarter. And, oh yeah, you had 2 picks tonight. Talk about your team's defensive effort.
So we first came out, we just knew we had to be disciplined. We know a couple of times in the other games before this, we weren't always a disciplined team. And before we came out to the game, we were talking in the locker room, and we told ourselves, the most disciplined team is going to win. And we came out, executed, and was disciplined.
Coach said before the game, he always is saying to you guys, you have to empty the tank. How hard did you guys have to fight to win this one?
I'm going to be honest, we gave it our all. We gave it our all the way from when that clock hit 0.
And what are your thoughts and feelings as this team, this vibe around here, 25 years it's taken this school to get back to the state football tournament, and you guys are the one to punch the ticket?
Yep, so last year, on the last, it was a COVID season, we had a short season, and I was right here. I told you guys, we're going to state this year, and it's definitely showing.
You absolutely did. Go enjoy it with your team. You guys earned it.
Thank you.
Guys.
Thanks, Allie. Congratulations to the Hawks, and I think sometimes it's a little sweeter after near misses in this program, right? I mean, obviously the coaches, but even some of the players have experienced it a little bit earlier in their careers, and sometimes, to get to the mountaintop, you have to take those steps along the way, and this was one for them tonight.
Yeah, you do, and you go through that swamp, you go through the agony, but you're right. Once you get there, if you're fortunate and in some ways lucky sometimes to get there, but fortunate, hard-earned, it's sweet, very sweet.
So it is Cooper defeating Armstrong 14-13 to win the Section 5A football championship, and again, they'll be playing state quarterfinal game next Saturday, the 13th, and as we said, not too far of a drive, Osseo High School, an afternoon game on Saturday for the Hawks. Hope you've enjoyed this one here tonight. For Allie Mosley, Joe Basil, and all of our CCX crew, I'm Jay Wilcox. Good night from Cooper High School.